Yeah, I think we should. Well, honestly, for me right now, most of my priorities is in family.
Please prioritize drilling another time. Go enjoy your lunch.
Priority.
I mean, we have. They are.
You see?
It's gonna surround sound.
Where's? It's coming from within the house.
Let's carry on. You know, I mean, obviously we just don't want to become from strangers to that. Can't.
Sorry. It's just her when she started.
Stop the drilling, please. Thank you. Hey everyone, welcome to The Grind. This is where we talk about the sermon that we heard the past weekend. And today we have Rico and Nathan.
Hello.
Hi everyone. So we're just done with our Making a Difference series.
That's it?
Yeah, 4
It all
weeks.
happened so fast.
Yeah, I know. Time flies, and yeah, it does. And so Pastor Betty spoke on how can we be a good neighbor. And so I want to start off our conversation with is Hong Kong a good place to get to know your neighbors? Do you know your neighbors in Hong Kong?
I do.
Oh, nice.
They are a family of French
Oh, français.
in the ground
Oh, les
in the
Français.
ground floor.
On the ground floor or the
ground
ground floor?
Grande floor.
Yeah.
No, I don't know my neighbors. I think it's really hard to get to know your neighbors, especially when you live in a block of flats.
That is
which
true.
I have done most of my life.
Yeah.
But when I house sat for my sister and I lived on her boat, which was parked between two other boats, I actually got to know the people who lived either side. So I think it depends where you live, really.
True.
You live in a house, right?
Yeah,
Like a
we
village
live
house?
in a village house. Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess it's easier. I mean, apartment blocks is kind of hard, but my dad was the friendly one, so he kind of knew a lot of people. So my dad would be the one saying hello to people, whereas the kids would be in the corner like, Dad saying hi to someone again. And
He's
then,
embarrassing us.
yeah, I was like, sometimes, like, what are you? But it's kind of cool to see my dad being the friendly neighbor.
The
He is-
neighborly friend.
Yeah, the neighborly
The
friend.
neighborhood friendly
the,
Spider-Man.
the friendly neighborhood
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. Yeah, to people. So he actually, it's kind of cool because there are some people on my floor that, definitely knew when they were kids and we were kids. But the thing is, I've never really had a conversation with them, so which is weird.
Okay.
And I've lived with people like for the longest time, and it sounds like, oh, they moved. I didn't realize they moved, But I found like it was definitely easier to know neighbors when we were in Malaysia because everyone, I guess, is just, I don't know, friendlier there, I guess. And I remember as a kid, I was just talking a lot to my neighbors. So
Yep.
yeah. So yeah, like basically, Pastor Betty's talking about how can we be a good neighbor, but if we don't really know our neighbors, it's kind of hard to be a good neighbor, right? But anyways, we are. It's like how do we be a good neighbor in the situation that we find ourselves in? And
But she's also talking about like not literally like the people you live next to every day, but like how the people in your circle as you live your life. Right?
yeah, exactly as well.
Not just like physical neighbors.
Yeah. I mean, she's basically talking about, moving from strangers to neighbors, and she's talking about how, like, we don't need more time. It's about, like, prioritizing your time and, where you put your effort. And basically, she was saying that, we need to prioritize our time. Like, what do we choose to do with our time? Like, how we live tells a lot about our priorities in life.
Yeah.
So, like, where do you place your priorities and efforts?
So yeah, for me, mainly my priority right now is family. Most of our time has been spent on that one. So like for example, like I said, we have a family downstairs as well, the French. We kind of constantly exchange baby stuff. So I think that's
really?
our way of
That's
like being
bonding.
neighborly as well.
Here's the
You
diaper.
really do know your neighbors then.
Yeah, pretty
And
much.
changing baby
We know that they
goods.
have really awesome swimming pool that my daughter is very jealous of.
So
yeah, we
you
have-
w- be good neighbors to them so that you
So
can
you
use the swimming pool.
pool.
I see how it is.
Nice.
I see priorities.
Yes.
Got it.
Big brain
family
energy.
priorities, guys.
Exactly. Do what you can for your
That's
child.
good.
Yeah. But they're
Yes.
awesome.
Priorities. I mean, it's kind of similar to Rico, except I don't have kids. So just looking after my family, really. Like
Yeah.
especially the last year when we were stuck at home.
Yeah, that's true.
It's become really easy to do that. But also looking out for my friends, my community.
Yeah.
But that's really as far as I've let it go,
Yeah.
I think.
True. I mean, well, family-wise, they ain't here, so yeah. But the one thing that I've been doing recently has been, taking some time to help out an NGO. Like I think I mentioned before, helping out, in this
Yeah.
organization, with women, in the red light district, and so that's been cool just to do Bible
that's
study with
very cool.
them and walk with them and just hearing their stories and how seeing some of them wanting to transition out and looking for ways to. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. And then we have a really good example of people who do that, who prioritize
Yeah.
their neighbors,
Yeah,
like
of course.
our Mana volunteers.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
Like they visit elderly people, they visit
Uh-huh.
people who live in like subdivided homes.
Yeah.
Like just a lot of people who, are disadvantaged in a way.
Mm-hmm.
And they do it on such a consistent basis,
Yeah, yeah.
like without fail, week in, week out.
Yeah.
And
It's-
yeah, intentionally connecting with their community.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, thank you to all the Mana volunteers. You guys are awesome and are doing an amazing job. So, Pastor Betty talked about, moving from neighbors to family. And she talked about Mr. Rogers, and truth be told, I've never heard of Mr. Rogers until...
Never seen Mr.
Yeah,
Yeah,
me too.
never seen Mr. Rogers.
I've heard of it, but
yeah, until I watched the movie A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. That's when, I heard about him. But the one thing that we are all familiar with about neighborhood, being a good neighbor, is Sesame Street. Sunny days. That's the only line I know.
That's
That's
the
pretty
whole
much.
song. no?
yeah, that's it.
Everything's like, rah, 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 rah. But anyways, I think we did a phenomenal job, guys.
Good job, good job.
They should hire us to do the new intro for Sesame Street. Anyways, so
Because we're childs.
yeah,
Children.
exactly.
We're childs.
We're childs. We're childs.
We're kids.
Clearly, he needs to still learn his grammar.
Sorry.
He
So,
has child, and
yeah.
yet
He is a children.
Guess I didn't learn anything in Sesame Street.
Exactly. Oh man, the things that we learn.
But yeah, that is like Sesame Street. It was like our first
Yeah,
introduction to the concept of having a neighbor. Or
Yeah, and
having-
being nice and
Yeah.
friendly and taking the time to be there for people. And
Thank you, Elmo.
yes, thank you, Elmo and Cookie. Well, no, Cookie Monster just taught you to hoard stuff for
No.
pretty much. Anyways, we were actually just having a conversation about if we could pick a puppet that we could relate to, and the first thing that came to my mind was that yip.
Yep, 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 yep.
No,
That was the first one that came to my mind.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Anyways, moving on. So how do you know you're going from being neighbors to family? Because we don't want to just be a stranger. We want to move to a neighbor, but then we also want to develop relationship as well.
I mean, I think you just hit it, right? Like developing relationship.
Yeah,
It's
that's
very
like,
true.
when you are able to have like deeper conversations with someone, or like really share what's going on in your life,
Yeah.
or like have more accountability towards people, or hold people accountable.
Yeah.
Like I think that's when I think when you're becoming family, because that's what
Yeah.
family do for each
Yeah.
other, isn't it?
Yeah. And besides like holding each other accountable, like being there for each other,
Yeah.
and also like there is power when you are in a family as well.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
Pastor Betty was talking about how, what did she say? It was a really good point. She said that being a neighbor is an invitation to a relationship, which is family. And she said that as people are drawn into family, they will encounter Jesus. And I know one of the things, and Pastor, like I said, right, Pastor Wright says never underestimate the power of family. And I remember just going on mission trips and serving, with a community, especially taking the youth on missions, and like that's some of the most memorable times I've had. And just to be able to do ministry with your community is
Yeah.
really, really powerful.
Yeah. There is something about being not stuck, but traveling to a foreign country
Yeah.
and being completely out of your element.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think one of the
With
great things is what
A group of people,
Yeah.
because you're all going through
yeah.
the same
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Right?
that is true.
Yeah. Like.
But you were saying?
Yeah. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I was saying like the great thing about it also is because when you guys are on a mission trip, you all have one focus. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
you have a goal.
Yeah.
You guys are doing it all at the same time.
Yeah.
And you're kind of like serving with the people you are
Yeah.
with as well. Yeah.
Yeah, because I went on a trip with a small group of people, 6 weeks. So 3 weeks in India, 3 weeks in Thailand, and
Oh,
you know we're
wow.
basically facing the same people, right? And obviously we had our fights, you know, we had our ups and downs,
Yeah.
but you know to do it together was fun. We have some great memories from that trip,
Yeah.
and yeah, like you said, we had one purpose holding us all together, which was to really, you know, bring the gospel of Jesus to wherever we were at. So that was really cool, just to be able to do that with a group of people. Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's really nice.
So it's really about like being a good neighbor is really about like connecting. Well, first connecting with people and then
Yeah.
developing that relationship, right?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously we don't really have the accelerator that is missions trips right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
But-
people can't really. Yeah.
Yeah. But we can still do that at home,
Yeah.
like while we're here.
And
Yeah.
also like do it with our community as well.
kingdom groups
you
and
know,
stuff
kingdom
like that.
groups,
Yeah,
stuff
yeah,
like that. You know,
yeah.
whether it be, you know, being involved with Mana or
Yeah.
you know just doing other like NGOs. You know, just
Like this
basically-
one here.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, like just, you know, making a difference wherever you are at. And I think basically like what this series that we've been learning is what does it look like to put the love of Jesus into action.
Yeah.
And it's not just like, yeah, I love Jesus and that's it, but really living it out. And you know, at the end of the day, you know, what we do is to point people
To
to
Jesus.
Jesus.
Yeah.
It's not
Amen.
like, hey, look at me, I'm making a difference in your life, like look at me. No,
Yeah.
it's because Jesus made a difference in our lives.
Yeah.
That's why we want to go ahead and make a difference in people's lives.
Amen.
So with that being said, yes, even though we're coming to the end of the series, now I want to encourage you, you know, all of you who are, you know, joining us online, just to look for ways to continue to make a difference in people's lives, and that it doesn't just stop, you know, in this series, that it just continues on. And I just pray that, you know, the Lord just opens your eyes and gives you His heart, His perspective on the things that He's doing. So yeah, all right. Well, thanks for joining us, and we'll catch you next time.
Bye.